Boom mic is. Alright, cool. I'm live. Oh my god, I got nervous for a second. I was like, oh, my face is frozen. We're gonna play this game already. Welcome everyone. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. If you don't know who I am already, I'm Eli with Pokémon USA. Tuesdays and Thursdays are Q&A session days where I just answer all of your guys' questions related to last video's topic or just anything having to do with Pokemon in general. So obviously our last topic, we discussed that we finally got reprints for Brilliant Star and Evolving Skies ETBs. Why does my internet suck? Am I lagging still? It says the mic is lagging, but hopefully my audio is not lagging. Okay, the audio is not lagging anymore. But yeah, anyway, so obviously last video it was talking about Evolving Skies, ETBs, as well as Brilliant Stars. ETBs being reprinted, and then more than likely we're gonna talk about on Friday the Ultra Premium reveal, but also I want to do kind of like a market update with everything going on with inflation and stuff. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a real breakdown on that, so I feel like this is going to be part of the conversation, but also discussing the market. And we'll talk about a lot of that really today, since Wednesday's video was more or less just news related. But before we get into the topic, got to give some shout outs to everyone who's here. Shout out to John. When's it released for the PC? It is released on the 28th of October, if you're referencing that. Shout out to Eddie, Doing Tan, TT, James A, John Boy, what's up? Wrath Zapdos, Scratch'em. Who else we got? Shout Hash Catch'em, what's up? And then Brendan Chata. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's the shout out to everyone. So sweet. Let's jump into some of the questions we see. UK Bros got Evolving Skies PC ETBs today. Interesting. Yeah, well, they've had them for a while though, because they obviously had delays. How is the audio running so slow? Do I need to like close some tabs or something? Is there like some tabs I need to close to stop the lag? Are you kidding me? But yeah, UPC, or sorry, Premium Collection ETBs were delayed for UK. That's probably why they're getting them now, because they're probably getting like another wave, which is interesting though, because I assume that we'll hopefully get another wave. But yeah, UPC 2.0 indeed. Everyone's saying UPC to the moon. Yeah, Charizard UPC, you see it here, ladies and gentlemen. So the design of it honestly looks super sexy. Like, I want to sit here and complain about like the fact that they're doing another Charizard, but honestly I don't care what the cards look like. I care more about the box. That box design is gorgeous. So I love the white and gold. The white and gold is so cool. So but yeah, it's gonna have a Charizard V, VMAX, and V-Star. So yeah, really excited about it. I think it's gonna be awesome. All right, we're cool. TT says, I'll take battle styles. I don't care about the packs. That's so funny. It's possible the Zard UPC gets reprinted heavily which is good for collectors. Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. No, I could totally see that. I mean, 16 packs, I gotta imagine they're gonna throw in Fusion. They're gonna throw in Chilling. They're gonna throw in Evolving. They're gonna throw in Lost Origin. They're gonna throw in Astral. They're gonna throw in Brilliant Star. This comes out in October. Okay. Probably Battle Styles. So what? That's 14 right now. So what other set could they potentially throw in? I mean, they could go like a Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze, like any one of those. Honestly, I think they could go any one of those, but that's kind of what my opinion on the packs are. So they've been really focusing on getting pack product out. Recently, that's going to be Evolving Skies centered. That's why, for those people that don't know, holy crap, dude, what is this lag? Do I have like too many tabs open or something? I'm just gonna close all my tabs just for now. So this is literally my only tab. But for those people that don't know, they've got stacking tins that they're gonna be throwing in. Also, if you see the Hisuian Zoroark, it's gonna have an Evolving Skies pack in it. So I gotta imagine the stacking tins more than likely are gonna have Evolving in it. They've really recently been trying to do that with product. So just because they just need to sell somehow. They just need to sell product. So. And stacking tins, literally stacking tins are terrible. Like, no one gives a crap about stacking tins. I think that these are definitely like a better like imagery this time around. But people, like, if you're buying stacking tins, it's literally just for the packs inside. A Celebrations was on a timer, the only set ever where Pokemon said no more stuff. Very true. I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see because there's always like rumors here and there. You know, reprint. I don't know, man. I'm pretty skeptical about it. I gotta imagine the timer's legit as well. Every person on the hobby wants this product. True. Based on what you said about it all, it depends on artwork because Celebrations UPC had the classic Charizard Pika, its gold medal form, which may not even be done ever again. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I heard people saying they wish that it had a gold Rayquaza, but honestly, I mean, we're probably gonna get a gold Rayquaza or a golden Lugia in Silver Tempest, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Like we're 1000% getting the black and gold Rayquaza in Silver Tempest. So if you're talking like a gold Rayquaza V-Star, no clue about that, but who knows? I mean, I don't think they should do... Actually, no. I totally think that would be on theme if they did a Rayquaza V-Star. Because, like, if you think about it, we've done a Rayquaza V-Max and not a Rayquaza V-Star. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if that's something that they kind of threw in the set. It could truly be on theme. No leaks yet, John, on what it's going to look like, but thanks for stopping by. Will Evolving Skies booster boxes be back up for sale on your website? When I get more of them. I have none of them right now. I mean, my product is very scarcely limited. As far as literally what I have right now, I literally have one Cosmic Build and Battle case left, and then I've got... and then I also have my Majestic Dawn booster box. That's literally all I have in product at this moment. Tyrone, thanks for the $11. I appreciate it, brother. T. Thank you so much, boss. Yeah, that 25th UPC is a tier above. I mean, we don't know that for certain, though. Scalping's coming back for sure. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily scalping's coming back, but I would say high demand. Because there's no doubt this is going to be a high demand item, but I don't know about you guys. I go in my Walmarts these days, and there is literally, like, tons of product. Like, a stupid, ridiculous amount of product that no one is buying. And that's what I find the most interesting, because I want to kind of gear this towards the topic of today, is really the economy. So they just came out with the inflation report, and we went from 9.1% last month. We're now at 8.6%. So we went down 0.05%. That's not a lot. I know that obviously people are saying it's the step in the right direction, and you know, this is, who knows, maybe this could be a trend in the chart. I highly, highly doubt that, especially considering we just got a $400 billion package that just got passed. And a lot of that money is going to be acquired through increasing taxes for anyone that makes over $30,000 a year. So for me, it's like when people are already struggling right now financially because of everything that happened with COVID and inflation and prices being more expensive, and then you're taxing people more, and then you're spending your money on useless programs. It really has me to believe that this inflationary, like, oh, we went down 0.05%. This is really nothing. And you're starting to see, I feel like, and I could be off base, I feel like you're starting to see a top in the housing market. I know a lot of people that think realistically. They're thinking, you know, down 5 to 10%, stagnant, and then eventually recover. But honestly, I mean, with the way in which the spending has been going recently, it makes it hard for me to think that all of a sudden, like, this housing market is just going to continue to climb upwards. My one fear that I will say is that I was listening to a podcast not too long ago, and they were talking about how BlackRock got approved for a $50 million in funding to basically prop up homes evaluation. So if, let's say, the prices started to correct, they would be able to go and buy home prices to hopefully drive up the price, which I think is so scummy. First and foremost, not only is it fabricated demand, but also as well, you've got a group of individuals that basically go and buy houses and then like rent it for extremely expensive and just cause an absolute issue in the housing market. Like, yeah, anyway, but without getting too deep into that, the way in which I'm going to correlate this to Pokemon is I feel like the Pokemon company at this point is like, they're very aware. That's one of the things that you can obviously see that they've always been very aware when it comes to what they do. And I think that they're really trying to focus on having really good product near the back end of this year. And they usually do this end of year, so it's not like the shifted trend has happened, but I mean, the fact that they're putting out an ultra premium collection box for Charizard specifically, whether it was, you know, intentional or not, because they're aware of the demand, I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a coincidence that with everything going on in the economy right now, let's throw in a Charizard item to kind of get some profit over our product that we're struggling to sell right now. So because things have been really difficult for them to kind of release product, nothing's really been super exciting. Lost Origin, I mean, people are somewhat excited about Lost Origin, but not like a crazy amount of demand, you know what I mean? So the Walmarts near me don't even sell Pokemon anymore. I've heard about that. They almost did that with my Walmart, because there was literally like people that were threatening the lady if they didn't like sell them product, which is crazy. So they got banned from Walmart. Housing depends on market, certainly looking like a plateau. Yeah, no, of course. It really comes down to your supply as well as the demand, which, you know, a lot of places it's, you know, the demand is, even though it's starting to plateau, the supply has gone up. But you're seeing more homes being built within the past year than you have since 1970, which is, you know, what, 30, 40, or 40, 50 years. So it's like, for me, I think what eventually you could potentially see happen is you can eventually see, as that demand starts to go down, but then they continue building homes. That's where I think you're going to see that kind of real regression back. And then we can I need to buy a membership for the Wall Street Journal, honestly. Wall Street Journal is so great. I can probably try and look this up. How many homes being built today? I gotta imagine. So because usually it would be under the Wall Street Journal, that would be that. Homes for sale surge as builders are stuck with too much. That'll be interesting to see. But who knows? It depends on if it's an opinion piece article or not. But I don't necessarily want to look at this right now. That's something I can do for a later video. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that I hear a lot of sentiment from individuals that are like really confident that the Fed has everything under control, when obviously they've been kind of BSing this whole thing for the past 2 years, 3 years, and they've just continued to BS it and act like they've had everything under control, and for some reason people are still feeding into it. Maybe that's just me, and it's just a lot of the people that I'm listening to, but I just don't get it. Like, I just gotta imagine, like, things are tightening up. If you're telling me that you think the market is gonna just continue to like go up after it goes sideways for a while, I just think that's absolutely crazy when you're starting to see a lot of people struggle to find homes. But I don't know. But the Fed is absolutely intending on creating a housing correction. It's a lot more elaborate than we can ever discuss. COVID-era mortgage-backed securities was a nightmare. Yeah, no, 100% agree with that one, James. I can't believe that we're going back in this... we're going back to the exact... Like, it's not exactly like 08, but the fact that we are talking about mortgage-backed securities again, it's crazy to me that the government is doing stuff like that, which, you know... Yeah, I shouldn't say it's crazy because history is always going to repeat itself, but you know how it is. Hey Eli, what do you think is a good price for Evolving Skies ETBs? MSRP. I mean, you get it for MSRP. I mean, you're fine getting it $5 above MSRP, like 45, but personally speaking, I like 40 or less. So obviously right now we haven't really seen that correction come out yet. But we'll see it relatively soon. So I haven't decided what I'm going to honestly put mine up for. So I know that my distributor, I did talk to him today. So love how it says wait because the lag is so great right now. I did talk to my distributor today and he informed me basically that they have a lot of the ETBs. So typically because I asked him why they didn't send out the allocations, and he said usually they do that when they have a small amount of product, and if they have more product, then they'll allow it for everyone to have open allocations. And so apparently there was a huge amount of open allocations for both Brilliant Star ETBs and then Evolving Skies. So we're going to see a large print. And if there is a large print, then honestly, there is a possibility you could see it go down to the like mid to low 30s. So I think that does kind of open up the discussion for that. But who knows? Who knows? But also, as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed. As well, to enter yourself into our weekly giveaways. 10 bonus bucks on Yu-Gi-Oh! If only I actually cared about Yu-Gi-Oh! But here, let's take a look at Evolving Skies, and let's see if we see any sort of correction right now. I highly doubt it. I'd be surprised if it really started to correct at this point. But we should start to see that correction relatively soon. All the cheaper Fates Collide Preludes kits have been bought up. Do you think they have? All the cheaper Fates Collide pre-release kits have been bought up. Have they really? We'll have to take a look at that in a second. I love how everything is taking 3 trillion years to load. Gotta love it. Singles coming down here for IR. I mean, singles have always been going down. Single prices have been continuing to correct. I mean, obviously it depends on what area you're referencing, but most of them have. Weird how we need to know so much about the economy and politics just so we can talk about a trading card game. You know, it's so funny that you talk about that, Stall, because, you know, it really is weird to think about that because everything is kind of coexisting one another, because it's like, it depends on how you want to obviously look at it, but everything correlates to the economy is what you kind of got to look at. Like, literally everything goes back to how the economy is going. And so the prices have not changed yet. But let's look at Fates Collide. I wanted to look that up and see if what he's saying is true. But yeah, no, everything just comes back to the economy at the end of the day. So if we're talking about whether it be investing or predicting reprints or just, you know, historical events that have happened in Pokemon or in the market, we always have to, you know, just see what history has shown us. All right, Fates Collide. Let's take a look. Has the reprint of Evolving Skies boosters really affected price that much? Well, so the prices, Brett, I think the cheapest I saw people selling them for was $120. I know that on my site I was selling them for $120 if you did it as a bundle with an Astral Radiance booster box. Ooh, I see what you're saying. Looks like they did buy up a good amount of the Fates Collide pre-release kits. But yeah, so for a while there, but honestly, the fact that it was only down as low as it was for as little time as it was, I mean, it was already predicted to be a small reprint. But, I mean, goodness gracious, that was bought up so fast. So I mean, I'm expecting there's already an expectation that there's going to be a larger reprint to come. So that's kind of what my personal thought is. I would be absolutely stunned if we didn't ever get another Evolving Skies. So I'm just being extremely patient. Jesus loves me, guys. Look at all this just like waiting. Too many chase cards from the set. Sorry, Evolving Skies massive ETBs. Bringing prices closer to wholesale could make those the best way to open up packs. Yes, true, but I would be stunned if they got closer to wholesale. Technically speaking, I mean, wholesale depends on which distributor you have. It's anywhere between $24 to $28 for wholesale. So yeah, if you're talking about getting to the low 30s, yeah, 100%. But I mean, even then, if you're saying, you know, let's say you're buying it for $32, you divide that by 8. That's still $4 a pack. So I don't know if it necessarily would be the best. There's so many other places to get packs if you're wanting to get it closer to the $3 or under $3 range. You know, the stackable tins for a while were really good to pick up. I know if you're wanting right now, the Divergent tins are extremely good if you're trying to get cheap Brilliant Star packs. The Eraser packs, I think that, I don't know what those prices are here, but I know the wholesale value of them. The Eraser packs, you can basically average out your Evolving Skies to be $2.50 a piece. So, cheaper Lost Thunder building battles is about to get bought up too. I made sure to grab one. Yeah, I agree with that. You'll probably see those get bought up soon. Pokemon TC. I'm just gonna look up Pokemon Eraser and then we can go look. Wow, they're not even here. Wow, they're not even popping up. That's weird. Maybe this is just the stock images, but they're still expensive, is what that's telling me. So, regardless of whether the image is correct, I would say 140 at lowest because Phantom said it was similar sized reprint as earlier ones. I mean, not necessarily true. The reprints were much greater for the Wave 1, Wave 2 Brilliant Star, or for if we're talking booster boxes. I can't tell if you're. Yeah, that's what I would say. When is the Chilling Reign getting a reprint? Probably sometime later this year. I mean, I could be off base with that. I never thought I'd be talking about. Yeah, probably later this year, sometime next year. It's still got about a year and a half before it goes out of rotation. Where I noticed boosters rising too. Figure with how much they printed, that would stay around 120. They didn't really print a lot for the. Well, at least for me, they printed a ton. I got so much, which is why I always say take everything I say with a grain of salt in regards to my reprint allocation numbers. I know people like to see what they are, and so I'll let people know. But I'll also give my sentiment because I've had times where I've had very little ETB allocated numbers, and then prices tank. And then I've had times where I've had a lot of Brilliant Star allocation numbers and then prices don't move at all. So it's like really hard to say. What's up, UT Long? How we doing? Dub? Do you think now is a good time to buy Near Mint Evolution Holofoils? TCG player shows it's dropped a good amount in price. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Now that I'm sitting on some cash, I'm like, yo, I can totally go in and buy like a Fates Collide like master set for like over like $100 Near Mint. And I'm just like, that's cool. I'm like, I want to start buying some sets. I want to, because my goal long term, although I like to collect sealed, my goal long term is to, of course, collect every single set. Just like everyone else wants to do. But if we're talking about my ultimate long-term goal, my dream goal is to collect every single Diamond and Pearl era card in a PSA 10. That is my goal long-term. Let's take a look. Do we want to look at the Charizard first and then we go and see? God, why did it do that, man? Let's go back. Managed to pick up 20 Evolving Skies ETBs for 1K. Was that 50 a piece? It's pretty spendy. I mean, I have no clue whether that's gonna be a good deal in the long term, but who knows? All right, let's take a look with the Charizard first. That's fair. I can be patient. We'll love to get an Evo lower than 150, but I know it's a good set and will hold value. Yeah, that's true. It's a good set and will hold value better than others, but long term, I mean, reprints will still crush good sets, especially in markets like what we're in right now or going into. Okay, so we've seen a decent amount of a correction. It's interesting though, because it looks like it was picking up for a while and then it's now retracing again. So, but that was just Charizard. Let's not look at Charizard. Let's look at something else. Let's look like you said holo foils. Okay, let's look at other holo foils that we can kind of take a look at. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that as well, James. 50 does seem a bit steep. Sup, Eli? How's it going? Not too shabby. How about yourself, Anvil? Yo, it's so weird to think about. I was thinking about what I have to do today. After I stream, I just have to, like, oh, wow. It feels weird not having to do anything today. I'm so used to having 3 or 4 jobs, but I've got just about everything taken care of that I have to take care of for the week. So I'm kind of just chilling. I just need to, obviously, I'm just continuing to package up product for when I move, but it's a weird feeling, I'll tell you what. Dude, what is up with this? This is so obnoxious. Market high to low cards. Let's take a look at, do we want to look at, which holo do I want to look at? I mean, if we're looking at prices, the Zapdos is next. How dumb is that they literally did not include Venusaur and Blastoise as holos? Why is it they never do that? They always just disrespect Venusaur and Blastoise, I swear. What's the yearly look like on this? Oh, wow. Jesus loves me. I mean, honestly, dude, it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's a bad time at all, honestly, to pick it up based on what we're seeing. I mean, that's just the second chart I'm looking at, but that looks like a nasty chart, dude. Man, I am not excited for sales tax, I will tell you that, though. FOMO has been a very powerful thing with Evolving Skies. I've been holding strong, though. Patience is key. Yeah, 1000%. I think that when it comes to Pokemon product, very rarely do I get FOMO'd in. Very rarely. Like, it's extremely difficult. And most of the time when I do FOMO in, it's because it's an amazing price. And it's not even like a FOMO of like fear. It's a FOMO of like greed. This one's been going sideways. It's not like a crazy drop. I don't know, man. I mean, if you really think about XY evolutions, the holos for the most part have always been kind of dirt cheap because of the supply. So I don't think it's a bad time to pick them up at all. I know for myself personally, if I were to go and pick up evolutions, I'd probably be picking up at these prices. Do you think Lost Origins booster box prices 90 to 93 is a good price, and do you think we'll drop more, increase the size? Amazing T. So if you're talking about if that's a good price, if we're not including shipping, well, if you're telling me, let's say you're buying $90 to $93 and that is your like DCA including shipping, then that's a great price. If you're saying that it's not including shipping and it brings up your price to 95, that's still great, honestly. So I like it a lot. I've got a couple of Evo booster boxes for my LGS for 120 pounds. I'm in the UK, by the way. Kind of figure because you use pounds instead of you use pounds instead. Which that reminds me. So this is a little off topic. So I'm thinking that after this like giveaway, because I've been doing weekly giveaways, I'm not even kidding you guys. I at least once a week have a weekly giveaway winner that is from the UK or from outside the United States, which is crazy to me because my demographic is 93 93% is like United States. So the fact that that happens is incredible. But with that being said, I think I'm at a point where I might have to honestly either have people from the UK pay for shipping, or I'll have to just stop giving away free prize packs to there, because I've had multiple issues with customs when trying to ship over to the UK, and for me, spending 20 to 25 bucks for free packs, like purely on shipping, and then for some of them to get returned because of issues with customs, it's one of the biggest pains in the butts ever. And it's like, for me, having to end up like giving away these free packs, which, you know, they're free packs, and then I end up at the end of the day spending $50 plus in shipping, I'm just losing a ton of money. So I'm at a point now where I'm thinking I might have to reevaluate that, which sucks. Like, I don't want to have to do that, but it's like, I swear, if I have one more incident with customs, I'm gonna lose my mind. So because the amount of money and the amount of hassle I've had to deal with has been extremely stressful. Mason Carnell Gaming said recently distributors are giving him last call for Chilling Reign. Well, that's completely different, John, because I was getting last call for Chilling Reign, but that's last call from what they have in their supply, because they had such a large amount of Chilling Reign that was popping up, or that got reprinted, or for wave 2, or I shouldn't, let me rephrase that. There was a large amount of Chilling Reign that came out and the prices corrected, and it was part of the wave 2 wave. And since there was such a large amount, it was sitting for the longest time while everything was crashing. And so for the longest time, we've just been, you know, kind of sitting on wave 2 Chilling Reign product. There's been not a single reprint of Chilling Reign that's ever happened. And so finally, we're starting to get a low amount of Chilling Reign booster boxes available. So, because I got a last call from my distributor saying, hey, we're down to our last 50 cases, just letting you know, if you want to get some before they sell out, now is kind of the chance to do it. So that's kind of basically what I was told by my distributor. So it's not last call as in last call, we're never reprinting it. It's last call as in we're finally starting to like dwindle out on supply of Chilling Reign on distributors' pages. But I can assure you, I'd be stunned if we didn't get at least one more reprint for Chilling Reign, as prices are going to go up. But I can't show you guys because that's a breach of contract with my distributor, but I can like tell you if they have any left. I can definitely tell you right now when just taking a look. Let's see, what do we have? So we've got a ton of Fusion still. We've got a ton of... They do have Chilling Reign pre-release kits. They do have a decent amount of those, which honestly, I might start picking some of those up too. Man. Let's see. Do they have any more Chilling Reign? They should still have some. I'd be stunned if they really already sold out of them. So there's the battle styles. There's the just regular battle box, mini portfolio. Evolving Skies ETBs. They're sold out of the Pokemon Go Elite Trainer boxes. Man, they still have the Junipers. That's crazy to me. Oh, interesting. I'm not currently seeing them listed. So, is that it? Are they sold out? I think that might be it, guys. Yeah, I think they are sold out. That's just what it's showing on my end, at least. Huh. Yeah. Last call indeed. So yeah, we're officially, it looks like we're officially sold out of Chilling. Which honestly, what I don't understand, like I get that they're sold out of Chilling, but what I don't understand is why there's still so much more Fusion compared to Chilling when Fusion costs more on the market, if you're talking about from a distributor's perspective. How much would you sell your ETBs for? Are you talking about like if I were you, or are you talking about oh, that'd be a cool video idea, John. How much would you sell your ESV? Are you talking about for my website or if I were you? Because those are two different questions. Because if I were you, just whatever TCG player market price is. But for myself, I'll probably sell them for anywhere between 45 to 50 a piece. What have I missed? You put ETBs up on your site? I have not yet, but I definitely will shortly. Getting a master set for every single slot is a daunting task. My master set series. What up, Eli? What's up, Webs? Do singles tend to be the cheapest after a set is out of print? Evolving Skies, for example. See, that's the thing, man, is everyone always wants to talk about Evolving Skies because it is the outlier. And that's the thing, guys. It is the outlier right now because the demand is so high for that set. But also you have to remember Evolutions for the longest time was an extremely high demand set, and then we eventually saw the prices of those singles eventually start to gradually come down and then just kind of plummet at one point. So it's like, for me, it really just comes down to when you're talking about generally speaking, because I mean, look at this. Look at, like, for a while it was sitting at 171. You know, prices obviously picked up, and so it hasn't really, nothing's really happened here, right? There hasn't been a ton of Evolving Skies product that has really caused the prices of these singles to go down and crash. So when you're talking about, typically speaking, like traditionally, if we're talking about what happened during COVID, it wasn't until wave 2 or 3 that usually would see like singles at their cheapest. However, with the way in which the Pokemon company is going about it now, they're shortening up their print waves because demand has started to kind of tighten up. And so you're seeing, before it'd be like wave 1, wave 2, 45 booster boxes what I'd be getting. Wave 1 is now just 65. So I'm getting cut 30, ish booster boxes less and getting more on wave 1, but overall you're having less wave 1 being, or less just product being printed altogether. But the wave 1s are bigger. You know what I mean? And so I think that, there's an argument to be made that you can either look at it one of two ways. Either one, you can say that the price will be the cheapest, a couple of weeks after an initial release, or a couple of months after initial release, because now we're just doing one waves for everything. Or you could say after a reprint, because in my personal opinion, with the way in which the market's going right now, we take Astral Radiance, I guess. We'll use Astral as an example, right? When you're talking about the just general trend of, we'll take the alternate arts out of the equation because I feel like there's some manipulation with that. So, but let's take that out of the equation. Let's look at something like, I don't know, a Golden Path to the Peak, and just see how the price of the items are going right now. So, you've seen a decline, obviously, from the high of like $33. At one point it dropped down to the 20, but it's now like steadily going down. So for me, would I buy at this price? No. I would probably buy it a lot cheaper. So because I think that the prices of this will gradually just go down. I mean, Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze, I think, are a perfect example. I remember when people were like panicking about Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage ETBs at 120, 100 a piece, and look at the price of singles for both. I mean, you want to talk about a Sword and Shield era set that you can master set for absolutely dirt cheap. Take a look at Darkness Ablaze. It is ridiculous. It's literally the Charizard, and everything else is just, single digits basically. So Charizard's like $40, and then everything other than that is under $10. So it's like, and so for me, the long-term growth, I think, of the market, I mean, like, obviously I'm a huge believer in the market long-term, and although I do think right now they're just kind of dialing it back on demand, or they're dialing it back on like printing because of demand, which, singles are gonna more or less take more time to drop, but that doesn't change from the fact that if, you see instances like Brilliant Stars where the ETBs, realistically, like, they haven't gone up like a ton to the point of where we should see a huge reprint. Like, they've gone up, I don't know, maybe $5-10. So the fact that we're getting a reprint for them is kind of unusual. which then, of course, is going to lead to Brilliant Stars ETB prices absolutely dumping, and it's going to lead to singles absolutely dumping. So for me, there's always going to be like your initial like thoughts of this reprint is happening because the prices need to go down on certain items, and then you're going to have your reprints of, I don't know why this is happening because the prices are pretty, you know, reasonable as it is. But I think that is something that really just comes down to the Pokemon company liking to do their reprints all at once, so that it kind of makes it harder for people to buy up reprints one at a time, because it's going to completely change when you're talking about now having to pick and choose, you know? It's one thing if you're saying to yourself, hey, there's a Brilliant Star reprint coming out, and you're like, oh, I've been saving up for a Brilliant Star reprint, right? Boom. You just put all your money towards that Brilliant Star reprint. It's another thing if you're saying to yourself, oh, there's a Brilliant Star reprint, Fusion Strike reprint, Chilling Reign reprint, Evolving Skies reprint. Oh, crap, which one do I choose? Because now you're at a dilemma where you have to like really choose on where you're allocating your money. You know what I mean? So that's why the Pokemon company likes to do it the way they like to do it. Did you decide what you wanted to do with your next Mystery Wave packs? Great question. I mean, honestly, Jason, it was an like overwhelming amount of individuals chose the $50 option because of the value that you're going to be getting from it. The only thing, I went back and I did my calculations. The only thing I would say here, and we can pull that up. So for that people that are wondering that are part of the stream, what he's referencing, because for those people that don't know, I think we have 3 mystery packs left. I could be wrong. I mean, we could potentially be sold out. We can, you know, take a look on my site, but yeah. So what I'm thinking I'm going to be doing, hold on, let's pull up, and then we can also pull up the poll as well. Let's see, do I still have them on the site? Yes, I do still have a couple on the site. So I gotta imagine we're probably down to the last 3 or 4 last time I checked. But going to my YouTube studio, I want to show kind of what the polling looks like for that, for those people that don't know what the options were, because I wanted to kind of talk through that a little bit since you mentioned it. Posts. Click on post. All right, so out of 132 votes, here's the results. So we had a resounding amount of people, 59% say they would prefer that we increase the pack prices, and then the odds would go 115, 16, 13. What I'm thinking I may honestly have to do, because I was doing the calculations, I might have to change this slightly. I'll still keep the golds to 1 in 15, because the gold, honestly, golds in 115 is fine. I might have to change the silvers to 1. Well, I'll do another poll, honestly. I might do another. Actually, you know what? Why not just do another poll right now? Because I can keep the golds. And would you rather, just for the sake of it, because I'm trying to obviously not like lose money on this, would you rather it be keep the same odds, only have 5 Sword and Shield packs, lower the odds of silver, or lower the odds of the reds, so that this would be, or would you rather me increase the odds of, so holy crap, having a stroke. Would you rather me do 1 in 7, 1 in 4, and have the 6 packs, or would you rather have the 5 packs, in other words, and then keep the odds? I mean, I'm pretty sure that people would much rather have it be just the 5 packs and then just have the odds. But my bottom line is basically, I went back and did the calculations, and there's a little bit of a disparity of more than what I would like, if that makes sense. So more than likely, how I'm going to have to calculate it is I'm going to have to slightly fidget with the odds a little bit on it. So, but I'm gonna still try and keep the gold 1 in 15. So I'm just gonna have to also completely do a new rebrand of that. I can indeed there, Anvil. Now I can relax and wait to move. I mean, there's people that have spent $50 in ETBs. I think won't move for another 5 years. I didn't have to spend anything on taxes or shipping, just $50 in ETB. So I'm happy with that. I mean, and if you're happy with it, at the end of the day, it's a long-term hold. There's nothing wrong with that. Use a VPN and you won't be in a state with sales tax. Yes, tax evasion. That's smart. The IRS totally won't do anything like that. I FOMO'd into $45 ES booster boxes, or I assume you meant elite trainer boxes, and sold most of them at 180 when I spent. I'm a little confused by that. I think I know what you mean, but with the TG, I happily paid $97 a booster box for a case if it drops 85. No, I don't buy. Buy 50 different cards to complete a binders for $300, or buy the Moonbryon for $300. What you doing? Probably buying 50 different cards to complete a binder for $300. Frick just buying one card, dude. That's way more fun. Completing a set. It's more to look at. Do UPCs normally go on Pokemon Center, or is it only at retail? No, they usually go on Pokemon Center. I understand about the whole shipping thing. It's a bugger when trying to buy from the US too. I usually get quoted around 30 pounds on top of things like boosters or gears. Yeah, dude, it's so dumb, man. Pokemon EUN? Yeah, right, Tyro. That'd be pretty sweet, honestly. Have a EU location. I think we've seen more celebrations maybe near Christmas. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's like one of those things where I wish I could tell, you know, people, but it's just rumors at this point. Which one would I choose? Probably Vivid? Vivid over Darkness for sure. Vivid has just been performing so well. Always has. The only Pokemon Go product that got are Pokemon Center ETBs that are back available. How do you rate those as a whole? They'll do fine. Pokemon Center ETBs will do fine. Obviously, you know, they're a specialty item. They're only accessible by the Pokemon Center website. And I think Pokemon is one of those sets. The Pokemon Go will do better long term. Not a fan of PC Pokemon Go ETBs. The design's just blessed. So much blue and that contrast. You know? How much did you sell UPCs for when they first came out? Trying to figure out how much stores are going to raise the prices on the initial launch. Here's my thing, PCCG trader. My whole philosophy is whatever market price is minus 10 to 15%. So whatever the market is, I will just undercut whatever the market is. So if you're trying to get a guess of whatever it is, let's say that it retails MSRP at 120, but the market is 200. I'll probably sell it for 170-ish. I gotta imagine 180-ish. Which there's a lot of times where I won't even list product because for people that are like, I would much rather just sell it on TCG Player and take the hit than, you know, have it sit on my site, because people would much rather wait and get a good deal, which, you know, sometimes it sells. But I always just feel bad too, because I only like to, like, when I list on my site, it's when I'm listing deals. You know what I mean? Honestly feel like Pokemon doesn't care that much about the value of Evolving Skies. I think they'll eventually print more if they know the demand is there and it's not even an old set. Well, I mean, the demand is there is the thing, though, like you're saying, although it's not an old set. So I'm just saying that we're more than likely going to get like a large amount reprinted within the next year, I gotta imagine. What's up, Tic Tac? How's it going? PC Go ETBs, it's a bit larger, but I don't mind the night sky look in hint text. Evolving Skies booster box reprint, not as far as it goes right now, just regular ETBs. What's the ES reprint product? It's Elite Trainer boxes. First stores sell the Charizard UPC for $150. That's honestly not a terrible price. It's not like the Celebrations one. What's up, Toast? I'm having a good day. Hopefully you are as well. Good afternoon. What's up, Derek? How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. 5 packs. People are saying 5 packs. Have the odds at 100%. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Gold pack guaranteed. 100% odds. You give me a $300. Seem fair? Gold pack value is only going to be worth $100 this time, though. Oh, it can be bad. But yeah, I'll have to run the numbers on it though. So, but I'm glad that, because I'm glad at least we got a good amount of people that like pulled on it, because I wanted to like make sure that we got a decent polling on what people's thoughts were on it. Because I mean, we've been selling out of our packs. Like, we sell out of them decently quick, you know? So for me, it's like, here, let me see. How much would that change things? Holy crap, John. that changes things a lot. Does it change things a lot, though, actually? Okay, there it is. Yeah, that gives more wiggle room. That gives so much more wiggle room. Wow, that changes things drastically. Sorry, we have an algorithm that I run. Shout out to John Boy, who helped me a lot with that. We have an algorithm that we run basically to like try and see what the best value would be. Yeah, and if we change that, oh my god, that gives us so much more room. I'm curious, what if we did that? Okay, yeah, so much more breathing room. I'm just running the calculations right now, like, okay, this is nice, I can work with this. I can work with this. Yeah, so what I'll probably end up doing then is we'll come out with the Pokemon USA mystery packs for wave 3. They're going to be 1 in 15 for gold, 1 in 6 for silver, and then 1 in 3 for red, and then 5 packs. That's what I think we're gonna stick with. Obviously, I'm gonna have to remodel what the packs look like. So for those people that did buy into these ones, these are probably gonna be the only time you're gonna have access to these specific designs on our mystery packs. So it'll be like a cool collection piece if you care about having some of our memorabilia. But and as far as it goes, just because I like to spoil what the main packs are, well, actually, I'm a little lame, if I'm being completely honest, this time around. I went with the heavy fossil packs again. I swear, I promise these next ones around, I'll change it up and I'll try and get some EX packs involved. But I just really like, because I got a guy that sells heavy fossil packs, and they're like extremely crispy condition, and I'm just like, yo, these are so nice. And for me, having a heavy fossil pack is just so fun to open. So so we've actually got 2 of those instead of 1 this time around. So there'll be 2 opportunities as part of like the gold packs, because before we had the 50, it was the Arceus and the fossil, but we're gonna have 2 fossils this time around that you'll be able to pull. And then, God, what are the other gold packs? I don't want to spoil it all, but so I don't want to spoil it all. This is probably an unpopular idea. This is probably an unpopular idea, but in my opinion, I really want to keep everything sealed on the mystery pack, shipped to use in the bags. No, I mean UT long. So here. Ship to use in the bag. Well, so what I'm going to be doing when I ship them to you guys is I'm going to ship the bubble mailers in a bubble mailer, so that the tracking is going to be on, it's not going to be to the packs like they were with my breakers, because I didn't really think about that at the time. And so I was like, oh, I probably should have shipped these in big bubble mailers so that people would not, in case they like the designs. So I'm definitely going to do that so that you guys will be able to keep them for memorabilia. 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000% Ari Sky. The first one was just a vouch for the rates, because like I wanted to make sure that you guys visibly saw what the pull rates were. And this time around as well, I know I told you last time that Evolving Skies, 90 to 95% of them were going to have Evolving Skies packs. Well, for this one, 100% are always going to at least have one Evolving Skies pack. So I think that's pretty fun that way. But anyway, besides the point of that, yeah, it was really just to kind of vouch for the fact that, hey, we do have full odds that we are promising. So this time around, obviously continuing the full odds kind of you know, schematic that we're running right now, and then wave 3 will change it for you guys. But ultimately as well, we're going to make sure that the shipping labels are going to not be on the mystery packs like we did this first time around. I promise you guys that. The real question is, why buy singles at certain times and watch them drop 35 to 40% when RP comes out? Because some people are don't want to wait. No, I did mean Evolving Skies booster boxes. No one wants them at the time, bought them all. But there's no way you bought Evolving Skies booster boxes at 45 a piece, bro. There's no way. There's no belief in that. August 27th will be the one for Evo Skies, the 1 year. Heck yeah, baby. People still buying PC Go ETBs for 100 when they've been at Pokemon Center. Bro, it is wild to me that people on TCG Player don't do the research. Do you think that Arceus V-Boxes are done with reprints? I understand they're hard to reprint because, yes, I do think they are. 100%. I do think they are. So someone recently on a stream, so they called Pokemon Center and was told that everyone who is able to enter in time should be getting a code by end of year. Oh, that's cool. Jason K, 5 packs for 50 but guaranteed. Yeah, if only, dude. Pluto Mars, thanks for the $2, bro. Big fan, always enjoy the stream. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I always love it when you guys, I always appreciate it a lot when you guys donate. Yeah, definitely can never guarantee a heavy and gold and silver pack unless you want the, yeah, right. Unless you want that heavy pack to be like, not a good gold pack. Can I ask what sets will be in the mystery pack? So for this time around, how I've always done it is, so you have your initial 5 Sword and Shield. It's going to be the majority of the packs. You'll always get an Evolving Skies. Then we're going to have Astral, Fusion, Brilliant Star, and Vivid Voltage, or Chilling Rain, or, I mean, any of the other ones. The only ones you won't be receiving, guaranteed, is you're not going to be receiving Sword Shield Base, and you won't be receiving Rebel Clash. And even Brilliant, you're not going to have a ton of, or sorry, even with Battle Styles, you're not going to have a ton of Battle Styles. Brilliant as well will be included. Now, if you're talking about for, like, you know, red, silver, gold, I know for the red packs, this time around, we're going to have some Ancient Origins in there. We're going to have some Unified Minds. We're going to have some Cosmic Eclipse. We're going to have some Burning Shadows. Kind of similar to what we did. We just changed it up with some of the more expensive packs. And then for the silver, we're going Plasma Freeze again. Flash Fire. Really, a lot of people like Flash Fire. And then we're also doing some XY base. And then we're also doing, if I'm correct, another black and white era set I'm trying to think of, but I can't remember. I can't remember if we're doing Legendary Treasures again or another one. And then for the golds, oh, I remember what the other golds are. Stormfront. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm spoiling it now, so not really fun mystery, but you know what it's gonna be. So if you get a Stormfront pack as one of your other golds, so. Which I love Stormfront. I think it's such a sick set, so I'm excited that we're gonna be doing Stormfront. But those are kind of like what the pack selections are right now. But they're constantly gonna be changing. You know, like you're not always going to get, you know, Flash Fire. You're not always gonna be able to get Plasma Freeze or Legendary Treasures. I want to make sure that's constantly changing. I know this time around, I really wish I didn't, but I know this time around that I did do, you know, heavy fossil packs. But I want to change it to where we can do heavy jungle packs, or I want to change it to where we could do you know, Neo packs, or I want to be able to change it to where we could do EX era packs. So obviously for like the older I get, the like, or the more expensive I get, like once we get into the range of like $300-400 packs, then obviously they're gonna have to be unweighted. I can't weigh them because the difference between a weighted heavy fossil pack is like $240 versus like a heavy fossil pack first edition is like $500. so it's like obviously I'm just losing money at that point. So but obviously I'm fully transparent with you guys on everything I do. No, I said 95 to 120 each. I wish someone would sell them at 45 a pop. Okay, I'm so sorry. I must have like read it wrong. For some reason, I thought you said you were buying them at 45 a piece. I don't know why I misread that. I apologize on that. Where I'm trying to go back and see if I can reread it again so I can see why I just read it wrong. Bought 45, 120 each, sold for 180 profit. Dude, that's Heck yeah, dude. Shout out to you, Dub. A nice little move there indeed. I know every time I come in here, I ask about singles, but generally sealed product does better. The raw singles in the future, right? I've been picking up cards I've always wanted in this dip. I mean, dude, like, if you're talking about raw singles, obviously it's different than PSA singles. Or, you know, PSA singles have performed extremely well. So it really comes down to what area you're buying those PSA singles from, if you're talking raw singles, because there were a lot of raw singles that did well, but I guess the problem is I hear a lot of people when they talk about raw singles, they talk about raw singles from the Sword and Shield era, which they'll do fine, but with the way in which things are being printed and there's such a higher supply, don't get me wrong, like, you know, demand will pick up for this hobby over time, but you know, it's not like it's not a deflationary asset like, you know, so product is. So it's like, it really just comes down to what area you're kind of picking up your singles from and if it's scarce and high demand. It's cool. I was joking. Doesn't hurt to ask. No, of course. I know you were kidding, obviously. I know you were kidding. They said Charizard cheaper than Altart Umbreon. Base set Unlimited or base set 2? Yeah, I think so. That's a pretty sweet price. Yo, Emerging Powers Gold Pack? Yeah, right. Good luck with that. I will never put... Mark my words, unless your name is Tyrone Smith, I will never put an Emerging Powers or a Steam Siege pack ever. Or Crimson Invasion pack. You will never see that. Good luck on that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. In some instances, of course, first edition base Charizard is why. Do you know what shipping would be for the break? Thanks, Eli. So, wait, hold on. Oh, I'm in the UK. Do you know what shipping would be for the break, Eli? Oh, great question. I have my rates calculated, Ben, to what shipping would be. It depends on how much you buy, because it goes by weight. And I can tell you right now, I can actually, hold on, let me a second. Give me a sec. I'm going to pull this up, and I can tell you what the shipping rates are. For shipping to the UK, I should also get a rate for Canadians, so it's cheaper for them. So, because I just have a worldwide rate. So let's go shipping. Sorry, I'm waiting for it to load. Give me a sec. Define your shipping rates and region. So, oh, I do have shipping rates for Canadians. Oh, goody me. That's nice. Okay, so shipping rates for the rest of the world, if it's under a pound, it's going to be $21. If it's between a pound to 2 pounds, it's $26. 2 to 3 pounds, $40. I mean, it depends how much you're realistically buying. So, like, let's say you're buying a booster box's worth, it's going to probably cost you around 20 bucks. If you're buying, you know, multiple booster boxes worth, like, let's say you're buying almost 4 booster boxes worth, then that's probably going to be your best deal. I mean, the more you buy, obviously, the better the deal you get on shipping. Like, shipping prices will average out. So it really just comes down to, like, how much you're wanting to spend on shipping. Because let's say you bought, like, 10 booster boxes worth, right? 10 booster boxes worth. You're spending about 90 bucks on shipping. That averages out to $9 shipping for each one. So, I mean, it's a solid price. I mean, it's almost like buying from the United States and then just spending $9 on shipping per booster box's amount, you know? Because typically a booster box weighs around 2 pounds, and so you take out all the bulk, it goes down to around a pound. So, have Pokemon product overall performed better than you expect this summer, and are you expecting the typical uptick in buying by the holidays? I would not say that it's performed better than expected. It's performed about exactly how I expected. You know, and that really just comes down to the fact that they've dialed back in the print runs. So Astral prices are around what I expected to be at. Lost Origins, they're around prices what I expect them to be at. I do expect prices to tank during the holiday season, though, because you're going to have Black Friday deals galore. You're going to have... Honestly, man, I feel like that's when I'm going to do most of my buying is during the holiday season. And then depending upon what prices Evolving Skies go to for their ETBs, I'll probably start, you know, buying a mass amount of those when I move to Arizona in a week. Man, that's weird. I leave in 10 days. But yeah, no. So it really is just going to come down to once we start to see the holiday season deals start to really come through. I would say there's going to be an uptick in buying during the holidays, but that's because there's going to be a downtick in price. Sorry for being late. No worries. Any thoughts about the kind of packs to expect from new Ultra Premium collections that will be coming out in October? I actually talked about that earlier in the video, Jones. Basically, just kind of all the sets that have come out within the Alt-Art era, and then potentially some, like, you know, Vivid Voltage or Darkness. I can't wait for when the mystery packs get Steam Siege. Get out of here, Tyrone. What's up, gang? What's up, Travis? Thanks for stopping by. Always glad to see you. Hey, what's up, Wisdom? Hope you all have a blessed day. Don't mind me tuning in. Hey, it's always nice to hear when you tune in, brother. Just getting out of work. Heck yeah, brother. Finally done for the day. Just listening while I drive around town. Always a good compliment when I hear people tell me about that. Having me as your background noise is like, it's such a compliment in my mind. Merging Power's $100, still not worth the buy. Bro, 100%. I would never buy. I mean, they're going for 40, 45 bucks for Merging Powers packs. I mean, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Emerging Powers. So on TCG Player, this is TCG Player, ladies and gentlemen. They're going for around 52 bucks. That is not like TCG Player, you're paying premiums. Hey, you want to talk about a cheap set to master set, guys? This is one of the cheapest sets to master set. Literally the most expensive card is the blister exclusive promo. Honestly, I might master set this set because it's so cheap. That'd be pretty cool actually to master set it. Oh man, these deck exclusive promos are so nostalgic from when I was a kid. So are these holos. Oh, nostalgia fleshing in. But you can probably find these for in the 40s, like low to mid 40s. So definitely by far the like cheapest, I would say, of the like packs. I would say the most expensive packs, if you're talking about Black and White era, it's by far, it goes Plasma Storm, Dragons Exalted, Dark Explorers, then Legendary Treasures, then Plasma Freeze, then probably Plasma, I don't know, Plasma Blast packs. I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't know, probably like next Destinies maybe. And then Emerging Powers are definitely the cheapest. I think Black and White is the second cheapest, just Black and White base, which is so funny too, because I like Black and White. I know it's obviously not like the amazing set, but I love the alt-arts. Like the design on these are gorgeous, and it was the first ones they ever made. And then of course you got the Secret Pikachu. So, and these cards are so nostalgic for me. The Embor with Inferno Fandango was a set that I played in a tournament during Heart Gold Soul Silver meta. And with Typhlosion Prime, for people that don't know, this was as often as you like, move a fire energy. And then with the Heart Gold Soul Silver base, they had a Typhlosion that would allow you to you take one damage counter, but you'd be able to move a fire energy from your discard pile and attach to one of your Pokemon. So literally what the combo would be is you would be playing Reshiram, and then Reshiram, for those people who don't know, 120 damage was a lot at the time, but with the Blue Flare, you would discard 2 fire energies. So Inferno Fandango, you just spam attack, and then you'd have 2 Typhlosions on the sideline that would basically just kind of spam it. And then also to synergize with that, I also had the Zekrom as well, which you didn't have to discard, you would just take damage. And then this was a part of, what set was this a part of? I want to say Undaunted, maybe? No, it's Triumphant. I feel confident saying it's Triumphant now. I want to say. I could be wrong. Watch my confidence be destroyed. Nope, Triumphant. Magnezone Prime, amazing card. Like, stupid good card. Which was put as many energy cards attached to your Pokemon as you like into the Lost Zone. This attack does 50 damage times the number of energies you discard in this way. So if you took a Magnezone, just threw on an energy card with it, and then you just, like, Inferno Fandangoed it with energies. Bro, this monster could do so much damage. Plus with Magnetic Draw, which was you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Absolute monster. Like, you're talking about when I made that deck, it would be like Inferno Fandango, attach a bunch of energies, Magnetic Draw, and then just burn all of my energies from Magnezone. Obviously, they're gone. But if I, like, put them on a Reshiram, then they would just get Typhlosion back. So it was a really cool deck at the time. But I'm sorry, I just got really nostalgic for a second. Nice to keep the dust out of your lungs with some, right? My childhood Pokemon collection is Emerging Powers. I do have a decent amount of Emerging Powers for my childhood collection as well, so don't feel too bad. Crazy how we're all doing various activities while listening, right? I'm sorry, Dub. I love the Black and White era. I do too. Black and White era is a great era. I mean, there's a reason why I put like Plasma Freeze packs, man. Plasma Freeze is a sick set. For those people that don't know and want to know what Plasma Freeze looks like, Black and White era, for those that don't know, or Legendary Treasures like we did last time around. You know, these gold cards are fine, but, you know, full art Latios, Deoxys, and then you're talking about, you got yourself the plasma cards of the evolution. Pretty sweet. What's rate for Canadians, Bold says? I will tell you what the rates for Canadians are. So the rates for Canadians are just around the same, but they're a little bit like, is that right? I might have to adjust the Canadian rates. So they're a little bit different. So like for how I did it before was if it was 3 to 4 pounds, actually, let me, I can actually pull them up side by side so I can tell the difference for Canadian rates. Settings. I also want to recheck this just to make sure. Okay, yeah, so for Canadian rates, the base rate is about the same if it's up to a pound. And that's because once it does hit a pound, it is around the same, so it's 21 bucks. However, where it's different is if you are going up to 3 pounds, if you're going, so if you're in the UK, if you're doing 3 to 5 pounds, then it's going to cost you 42 bucks. Well, if you're in Canada, wait, is that right? Nope, just I lied. If you're doing 3 to 5 pounds and you're in the UK, if it's in the 5 pound range, it's $72. Versus if you're in Canada and you're in the 5 pound range, then it's $40. So you're saving about $20 to $30 in Canada. So the rates are much cheaper. So like another example is if you are international and you are doing 10 pounds, it's $100. Versus if you are in Canada and you're doing 10 pounds, it's $75. So on average, it's $25 cheaper. Or sorry, yeah, it's $20 to $25 cheaper for me to ship to Canada. So that's what I have my rates at. So it's only the initial rate that is the most expensive, but anything above a pound it just gets way cheaper and cheaper. Okay, I'm interested to break the price down solid, to be honest, including shipping. Well, heck yeah, brother, I appreciate it. Do you why some online stores don't charge taxes for certain states? Well, all I know, UT Long, is as far as it goes right now, since I do live in Oregon, I am legally not required within the state to collect sales tax. So that's why I personally don't collect it. Obviously, I moved to Arizona in a week and a half. So if you're trying to buy on my site, like brake packs, I would recommend doing it within the next week or so because I will have to start collecting sales tax. So I think that's where it really comes down to. Heard somebody slandering the BY era full arts and I couldn't take it. Hey, I'm not slandering BY full arts. I love the BY full arts. I just gave love to the Reshiram and the Zekrom. I told you how nostalgic and how amazing it was. I was just saying the Thundurus and Tornadus from, you know, arguably one of the worst sets of all time. It's legal for them not to charge. Yeah. Do you see Evolving Skies ETBs dropping below MSRP after the reprint? Considering that my distributor said we're going to get a lot of them, potentially, I could see that totally happening. Charging taxes isn't required. They may be building taxes in their price. Oh, some people do that, dude. Some people actually do that. I've never done that. Personally, I don't. I just have never done that. Wow, I could have been skamazing people this entire time. What an idiot. What was I doing wrong, James? Why didn't I skamaz people? If your state requires sales tax on e-commerce. How would you rate the overall Sword and Shield era now that it's near end? I would put it slightly above. I would put it slightly above XY era. So if we're talking about eras, this might sound extremely controversial. If we're talking eras, I would say that probably the number 1 era, oh, it's a hard one to put up. I mean, it's like, I don't know, if you're giving like a scale of 1 to 10 rating, I would say it's probably like, right now in my book, it's a 6. But I think it's probably going to finish as a 7 or an 8. Depending upon what these last 2 sets are going to look like. So, if you're asking how would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, since that's what Ari Sky's saying. So I'm saying right now it's a 6. And the reason why I'm saying it's a 6 is because it's mainly been kind of mid to lackluster sets. Sword and Shield base, mid, Rebel Clash, mid, Darkness Ablaze, mid, Champion's Path. Mid. I mean, these sets were all terrible. Like, let's be honest here. Charizard set, terrible sets. Cool that we finally got a Pikachu set. Amazing Rares were cool at first. Shining Fates, it's really a Galar set, and they threw in a Charizard to appease people with some other cards like Lapras and, Suicune. Battle Styles, first one to introduce Alt Arts. Definitely not a terrible set by any means, but middle of the road, arguably one of the best sets of all time. Celebrations, cool specialty set, but it's not like, oh my god, this set's amazing, but it's a cool specialty set. It's a fun one to collect. Fusion Strike, middle of the road. Brilliant Star, not a bad set by any means, pretty solid. Brought back Trainer Gallery. Astral, not too bad. Pokemon Go is like, it's a fine set. So it's not like anything I get excited about, So for me, it's like right now, 6, probably finish 7 or an 8. If we're talking about Sun and Moon era is a 10. No question about it. Sun and Moon is arguably one of the best eras. I don't know whether I want to put EX era above it. Just because EX era was such an amazing era as well. When you go back and look at like the Gold Star designs that they really had into it. But the Sun and Moon era was just, they kind of knocked out of the park, honestly, with it. Because Cosmic was incredible, Hidden Fate's incredible, Unified Minds was incredible, Unbroken Bonds was solid, Team Up was incredible, Lost Thunders was a pretty good set, Dragon Majesty was an okay set, Celestial Storm was a good set, Forbidden Light was an okay set, Ultra Prism was a great set, Crimson sucked, Shining Legends was a good set, Burning Shadows sucked, Guardians Rising was an okay set, and Sun and Moon base set was an okay set. So it's like, when you look at the amount of like amazing sets to okay sets, it's such a better ratio, So versus like EX, like Power Keepers, Dragon Frontier, Crystal Guard. There's so many good sets. The only thing I would say that would probably put Sun and Moon slightly above it is early sets. And don't get me wrong, it's a base set, and for what a base set was, Ruby Sapphire was pretty sweet because it did have Mewtwo and stuff. EX Sandstorm, on the other hand, people argue that EX Sandstorm was one of the worst in the EX era. Dragon, it's one of those ones where it's a good set because it does have the Rayquaza and the Latios, obviously, and the Dragonite, so I think it holds up more value because it does have good EXs. Fire Red Leaf Green, first time they ever introduced the starters, so that was cool. Hidden Legends was a terrible set when you talk about from the EX era. Definitely I would say it was cool that they did bring in Team Magma and Team Aqua cards. I really wish they did more with it. I feel like they missed an opportunity with bringing them back. Because I thought it was a cool set. I mean, the gimmick I thought was kind of cool. Team Rocket Returns was an awesome set. Deoxys was great. EX Emerald, obviously, wish they had thrown in, Gold Stars in this one. So kind of a bummer because EX Emerald was kind of not the best. Unseen Forces, on the other hand, it had the Umbreon and Espeon EX, which was sick. And then, of course, the like silver kind of Lugia. So I absolutely do love this era. And then after that, it's all just like kind of uphill from here, like kind of all just, to the moon from here. So I honestly, though, I'd probably put Sun and Moon still above it. Just from a pure design perspective. They did a great job. My childhood collection was Platinum Arceus. I remember opening tons. Platinum Arceus is still arguably, I mean, it's by far my favorite set in the Platinum era. Like, no question about it. Arceus is an amazing set. You got the Gengar. If you're a fan of Arceus, got Arceus. Really cool shinies. It has a Charizard in it. The Arceus reverse holo slots were an amazing, amazing concept. Absolutely loved them. Just an overall great set. Such a good set. Is your Lost Origin pack break really just $2.50? Yes, it is. But please be aware that the reason why it's that much is because I'm not shipping out commons and commons. So, but if you do the math, comes out to, ignore that one. Comes out to $90 you're paying for the box without the bulk. So that's kind of the reason why we're doing it cheaper, so that we save money on shipping. So still have the whole Arceus subset from when I was a kid. I have multiple sets of the Arceus subset as well, that one guy, so I love it. It's so sick. Do you know of anywhere that does pre-orders? At this very moment, I do not know of that. Shattered. 9 Platinum Arceus Hollows. Charizard sold yesterday in 65. Should have grabbed it after seeing this. Well, I'm sending mine in right now, John, actually, for grade as well. I have a decent amount that I'm sending in for grading, and I also got a Charizard that I pulled pack fresh not that long ago. Yeah, anytime I'm in the chat, I'm listening at work. Appreciate it. Appreciate it there, Tyrone. What do you think is better long-term, Evolving Skies ETBs at 40-ish or Evolving Skies at this current price? So long-term, 100% ETBs. 100%. ETBs have historically performed better than booster boxes. So you think about it this way, guys. If you're talking about just from a general percentage perspective and when you're able to buy it, if you're saying buy MSRP, right? You say booster boxes 144 and their all-time high was 200, right? So 144, goodness gracious, divided by 200. It's around the high. Talking about 28% return. If you're talking about buying at $40, what was it? 28% return? Yeah. Versus you're talking about $40, right? And the overall high was what, $65? Let's take a look. Evolving Skies. Let's take a look at the high. So what was the high on this? So 68 was the high. So you're talking about around a 42 roughly % return. So your return is vastly greater. The only thing you really have to keep into consideration when talking about the disparity and the differences between the two, when comparing if you're buying it from MSRP versus non-MSRP, obviously, you know, if you're comparing it market rates, it's also a little bit of a different argument. But even then, if you are comparing it market rates, right? If you were to sell it from high, you know, let's say that with this recent reprint, you got it for, you know, 120 and it goes back up to 200, you know, 40%. It's still, you know, ETBs are still getting are still beating it, even if you're talking about the recent low. So it's really hard conversation for me when you're talking about the fact that ETBs just mathematically has always performed better. But take everything into consideration when we're talking about how much you're going to have to pay to ship just one, and considering how much it's worth compared to how much a booster box is worth. Because when you're shipping an ETB, it's going to cost you a little bit more, like a couple bucks more than to ship a booster box. However, booster boxes, if you're selling a booster box for $200, it costs you $10 to ship. It's about 5% getting cut off the top, right? Just on shipping. Well, if let's say that the price of the ETB is at its all-time high of, we'll say $70, make it flat, you know, it's going to cost you about $12 to ship. That's about a 20% difference. So it's like, the difference in shipping is something you have to take into consideration, which is why typically a lot of people like to sell them in cases, because that's where that price difference goes for both booster boxes and elite trainer boxes. However, if you're going to sell in cases, it might be harder to sell, but also as well to take into consideration, if you are going to sell in cases, it is also going to be something to consider when you're talking about storage, because ETBs are a lot chunkier, and so it's going to be harder to store them, you know. So, but I will be telling you, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to be, when I move, I hope that these prices are going to still stay down, because I'm going to be, if they drop to MSRP prices, or below MSRP, I'm going to be picking up a exorbitantly large amount of these, like a stupid amount. So especially since I'm sitting on some cash now, feels nice. I wasn't saying you were slandering the BY era, LOL. Some other channels was. Really? Oh, dude. Well, that one guy, so here's the deal with that one guy. People love to slander what they don't know. You have your, you know, WotC era is the best, everything else sucks. Some people will understand appreciation for like alt arts and stuff. But I swear, man, some people stuck in their cults. I can always find appreciation for every era. Like, I can always find appreciation for every era and what I like out of each one, personally speaking. So, however, I would be lying if I said I didn't hold a lot more nostalgic, like, sentiment towards, you know, the EX era, black and white era, hard gold, soul silver era, and then the DPP era, because that was kind of my era that I grew up in. So I came in at I came in at Crystal Guardians is when I came in to the hobby. So, and then my first ever game was Sapphire. So, where are you going to have the Evolving Skies ETBs? Can I grab 2, please? I will be listing them on my site, hopefully soon. Do you think they'll reprint ES Build and Battles? Highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I mean, Evolving Skies Build and Battles, they don't really reprint Build and Battles. Build and Battles are more of like, you know, they're called pre-release kits for a reason. They typically are sent to LGSs for like pre-tournament. So like the whole concept is you buy a Build and Battle 2 weeks before the set comes out. You get your 4 packs, and then they give you a bunch of like bulk and stuff to build a deck with. And then you basically open your 4 packs, and then whatever you get, you use to make a deck with the remaining amount of like energies and bulk they give you. And that is kind of what you do with the Build and Battles. And then they run a tournament, and then winner gets whatever it is that tournament's running. So hot takes, Orange Shield Sun will be a great era long term. I mean, it's definitely, there's no denying it's going to be a great era long term, but it has less to do with it'll be a great era, and it has to do with the fact of the matter that you've got some really good eras above it. You know, because like, although I'm a huge nostalgic fan of like the Diamond and Pearl era, there's no denying that, you know, Diamond and Pearl era was definitely one of the weaker eras by far, like no doubt about it. Same concept with XY. XY era was a pretty weak era as well. I would go booster boxes, more money to gain, not as high percentage, but booster boxes is a higher money gain. Well, I mean, it really just depends on your situation, I think, Firestorm. Because if you're talking about the fact that you have more liquidity, you have more storage, you're able to sell in, like cases, then I mean, the risk to reward ratio at that point is so much greater for booster boxes. But if you have limited capital, you've got limited storage space, then then obviously you're talking about going booster boxes for sure, even if you're losing a cut. So, but also as well, when you're talking about volatility, if you're talking about short term versus long term, they're two different conversations, because long term it's ETB, short term it's booster boxes all day, because booster boxes are more volatile because they get reprinted much more. If you literally said right now ETB versus booster box long term, neither of them get reprinted, booster boxes all day. But because booster boxes get so many reprints compared to ETBs are gonna win because of it. And I know some people are like, oh, well, we're getting ETB reprints for evolution or evolving skies, which means that they're changing things. I don't think they're changing things. I don't think they're changing things at all. I think if anything, that's just a good opportunity for them to reprint it, because they know that prices on these items are going to go up because these are the two highest demand ETBs right now. And so they're trying to get ahead of the curve before they shoot up to $100 plus, because that's something that they weren't able to do with Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, which those booster boxes went to 100 plus each. I think Sun and Moon is an 8.5 and 9. And Sword and Shield is a 7, including the sets. Really? What do you not like about Sun and Moon that you put it at a 9? I guess my question for you would be, what would you say your #1 favorite set is? And I want you as well, I don't want you to rate it based off of one set. I want you to rate it as a whole. Because my problem is a lot of people will be like, yo, this is the best era because of this one set. But if you're like only going off of that one set, then I feel like it's kind of like takes away from what makes an era great, because there are so many good sets, you know? Because if you go back and you open product from that era, are you going to be excited of all the packs that you're going to be able to potentially open? Like if I go back and I open up like a Meowth special collection box, and I'm able to, like a Meowth VMAX collection box, and I'm able to get a Cosmic Eclipse, a Unified Mind, and an Evolutions packs, like you bet your sweet bottom I'm stoked, right? But if you're talking about, I'm going to come in and I'm going to be opening an Arceus box from nowadays, it's going to have Cosmic, which is an older set, which is great. It's going to have Brilliant, and then you know, it's going to have some decent pulls, versus if you just take what the Galar Pals were, it was literally just Cosmic from an older set, and then Rebel Trash, and then like Sword Shield base. So it's like, it depends on obviously which product you're getting and which packs you're going to be able to get the selection from, but I don't know, it's kind of hard. And you know, maybe I'll be wrong, like maybe the Alt-Art era, maybe it's going to hold even more value than I think it's going to, because I think there's going to be out value to be held with alt arts, but also at the same exact time, I don't think people are necessarily clamoring for, I just think that there's value in characters. And historically, that's kind of what it's been shown. And although there are certain character cards that have alt arts, such as, you know, Tyranitar and Empoleon, no one really cares about the Urshifus. No one really cares about the Riders. No one really, and I could be wrong, you know, maybe people do care about the Riders and the Urshifus. You know, people care obviously about the Blaziken. People care about, you know, the Trio. People care about, you know, the Espeon. So it's like there are totally a ton of good cards that people do value. But I think for me, what makes it so much different compared to Sun and Moon is not only was there a ton of innovation in that era, but also there was a ton of emphasis on character strength, you know? And it wasn't just like single set character strength like Champion's Path, Darkness Ablaze. Because when you think of Champion's Path, right? It's Shiny Charizard, Rainbow Charizard. When you think of Darkness Ablaze, it's just Charizard VMAX. When you think of Vivid Voltage, it's Pikachu, and that's it. When you think of Shining Fates, it's Charizard or nothing. Like, there's too many sets where it's like, if you don't get this, it sucks, right? And if you're talking about, like, you know, when trying to compare, like, even like a set like Celestial Storm, right? Like, when comparing that set, obviously the main pull is Rayquaza, but you can still get Alicia, which is still going to be, like, worth your money's worth. You still get a couple of these good rainbows. You can still get a couple of these good, like, character rares. Or not, like, sorry, you know, full arts. Like, there's still outside value that you're going to be able to get, and maybe it's because it's an older set, so single prices have gone up. Maybe Ultra Prism is a better example, you know, because with Ultra Prism, you got Lily, you got Cynthia, you've got Lusamine, you've got the gold cards, you've got Leafeon, you've got Glaceon, you've got Mars. Like, you've got so many good cards that you can still pull. So it's like, it's not fully saturated down to one card, you know? And these are some of the arguably, like, older, weaker sets. Same concept with Lost Thunder. Obviously, you have the Lugia as the main pull, but you've got the Suicune, you've got the Tyranitar, you've got the Mimikyu. So that's my thing, is it's very much a large portion of the Sword and Shield era is kind of like, it's kind of saturated down to, if you don't pull this one card, it's a bust, you know? So that's why Evolving Skies is arguably one of the best sets, because it's very much so, you don't have to get the Umbreon, you get the Rayquaza or the Glaceon. Like, you can get just about any of the alt-arts and you're going to be good. Does the roll over to a new generation make the generation before more or less expensive? It really depends, Andrew. It comes down, I think what you should really focus more on is rotations. I think the rotations are what matters the most when you're talking about standard play. Because when a standard format gets rotated out, then those cards are no longer going to get reprinted, and then that's when you start to see the value of these items start to go up slowly. Only issue I had with Sun and Moon GX was the Monochrome GX full arts. Yeah, no, for sure, I agree with you. And that's why I was comparing the sets in the early stages without the alt arts to the sets in the early stages without the tag teams. So because Celestial Storm still a strong set for not having tag teams, same with Ultra Prism, same with Lost Thunder, and still had a decent amount of sets in that era. And even when you're comparing like Sun and Moon base set compared to like Sword and Shield base set, it at least had, you know, an Umbreon Espeon that you could pull. You know, obviously it's not going to carry a set. But when you talk about Sword and Shield era, oh, you got a Lapras and a Snorlax. Like, those are cool cards. But I don't think they're going to hold nearly as much value. Obviously, Marnie is one that people have now start to really fall in love with. So, you know, character is going to hold value on that. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's a hot take. When was the last print set that you think will be more popular than Evolving Skies will Cosmic be? Or do you think you will have to look back further? More popular than Evolving? I don't know, man. Hidden Fates, I guess. Hidden Fates is probably the last set that will be more, that's probably more popular than Evolving. So that's what I would say. We'll when the outline in the future arts blend with the background. That one guy. Yeah, those are so ugly. They need to do a bad guy set from every generation. That'd be cool. I really wish they did bring back like a Team Rocket stuff. Unseen Forces? What are you talking about? Unseen Forces was not garbage. What? What? Unseen Forces was great. I mean, maybe it's because I'm biased and I'm an Evolution fan, but, you know, Umbreon, Espeon, Tyranitar, Lugia, you got the trio shinies, Celebi, Ho-Oh. What do you mean? It was a great set. It was a great set. I loved Unseen Forces. Yo, what's up, Eli? Hey, I don't know if we discussed, just seen a post about the Ultra Premium collection coming out at the end of the year. You see anything about it? Yes, if you actually go scroll to the very beginning of the video, you'll see our discussion about it. I agree with Eli's take on the Sword and Shield era. Most of the sets are mid, but for me, this era was an era that I came back and fell in love with the hobby and some. Yeah, no, there's going to be a ton of nostalgia around this era, especially because it was during the time of COVID. So historically, it's going to perform really well. It's going to perform really well. So, I just think that there's been way too many, like, you know, bust or boom sets. That's my issue. I just don't like sets that are very much catered towards, let's just throw in a strong card and then hope for the best on the era. Like, come on, guys. Champion's Path, like, Charizard, Gardevoir. That's kind of it. And Gardevoir is even not really like worth much. So, and that's why I'm comparing the GXs to the standard VMAXs, because the standard VMAX is blue as well. You're all good, Codex. Also, I have a feeling alt arts could be huge down the road. 100%. Yeah, no. Alt arts are not only going to perform well nostalgically because of the era in which we're in with COVID, but they're also like artistically, they're the best designs we've ever had. Like, the artwork in regards to innovation has been extremely strong in Sword and Shield era. However, one thing you still have to take into consideration is there's more than likely going to be a chance that we're going to have alt arts in the, you know, Scarlet Violet era. So this is only the beginning, more than likely. So this is just the start of what alt arts could look like in the future. Because it's not like a GX or an EX gimmick, right? Like, that just comes, you know, here and there. Like, this is a new fangled thing. Yeah, I still think it's a super solid era. I like every except Rebel Clash. Pokemon Go is also kind of questionable, but not bad, I guess. Do you think I'll be able to get a booster box into ETB's Evolving Skies for 200 shipped? Yeah, I don't see why not. I guarantee you can probably find a place. Oh, wait. 2 ETBs, not 1? Oh, God, no. Definitely not. Good luck with that. So you're basically saying 120 for 1 and then 40 for each. I mean, I don't know. I think it's possible, but I think at this point it's very unlikely. Evolving Skies is a heavy hitter set everyone says isn't playing fair with other sets. Set a high bar. We'll see if Scarlet and Violet, yeah. I mean, I think Scarlet and Violet will eventually have a set that's going to be just as good, if not better. Every era has to have a good set. Every era. I can't think of an era that hasn't had one like money set. You know, obviously some people will disagree with Evolutions, like looking back on it, but you know, Evolutions at the time was a phenomenal set. Same with Cosmic, same with Hidden Fate, same with Legendary Treasures, same with Call of Legends, same with Arceus, same with Stormfront, same with, you know, Dragon Frontiers. Like, I could just keep going on. There's always going to be one. Don't you rather reprint Evolving Skies to the ground? Should we target out of print ETBs over in print sets? You should target ETBs that are a good price. That's what you should realistically target, and that you think will be good demand long term. For me, I've been targeting Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze, and then more specifically, like out of all those, Shining Fates. I've been targeting a lot of Shining Fates ETBs because I think that set will do well long term. However, right now I'm going to focus on Brilliant Stars and Evolving Skies. Wouldn't worry too much long term. They printed Evolutions to the ground and it's still popular. Yeah, 100% agree. Pre-release build and battle is the closest thing Pokemon has to draft. I've seen a video of the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. Yes, Hidis, if you scroll back to the beginning, you'll see it. That's the first thing we talked about. I was wanting to get a fresh case booster box. I was curious how to play the waves, if that's still possible in this time. Great question, Miller. It's really hard right now because typically playing the waves is something that you would do when you have a high demand set that you're able to pick up for cheap on a pre-release, and then you're able to eventually sell when the demand for the item picks up while the reprints have like not happened. So like Evolving Skies was arguably one of the best sets to play the waves on. Like you could also play the waves on Vivid Voltage during COVID. Now that COVID is over, the question really comes down to, are these waves going to be as volatile? I don't think so, because we're now in a bearish market over a bullish market. But can you still play the waves? Yes, of course. It's just going to take longer. Like your wave time before was 3 to 6 months. Your wave time now is going to be 6 months to a year. So I think potentially speaking, it's really going to come down to where these high demand sets now more than ever. Because at least with the Sword and Shield era, it didn't have to be a high demand set. I mean, heck, man, even if you picked at like Darkness Ablaze, or you picked like Sword and Shield base set, like look at playing the waves on that. And those sets were not high demand. Obviously, there's a different argument to be made because of the supply and because of the demand, you know, which is why we're looking at it from a different lens, because the market has completely changed. So for me, I'm becoming more conservative on playing short-term aggressive waves and looking at more of a long-term approach. And so I'm really just focusing on sets that I think are going to have really good long-term value. And in regards to booster boxes, I'm still waiting on sets that are going to really kind of smash out of the park with booster box sets, of course, that are really going to smash it out of the park. And I haven't seen that yet. You know, and who knows, we could potentially see that with Silver Tempest. That could be one of those sets that, you know, smashes out of the park. And that will be one that you'll probably be able to pre-order very cheap. And then playing the waves on that will be extremely profitable. So, but we're not there yet because we don't know what this set's going to look like. But I don't think Lost Origin is that set that you can play the wave on. I never thought Astro was. I think we could potentially see that with Silver Tempest. I think the last one you could play the wave on was Brilliant Star. You could definitely play the wave on Brilliant Star. Because if you pre-order Brilliant Star at 105, which was the cheapest I saw you were able to pre-order for it, and then you sold it for 170, 160 on release day, that's when it hit its high, you would have made a killing. So, it's typically the best time to buy is before the set fully is released, and it's at its lowest point because people don't know what's in the set, and then typically a week or two, like the lead up to the set, after there's full confirmation of everything that's going to be in it, is when you see it to be the most expensive, because the hype for the last second FOMO buyers. I think Pokemon is set up to absolutely print any set to the ground, and I worry about investment in all print. No, that's not true at all. They're only going to print things into the ground potentially if they are currently in print. They have never historically had any problem even with a set that's printed into the ground, because if you go and take a look at something like Evolutions that got printed into the ground, booster boxes at one point for those were $1,200. So I'm not too worried about it at all. Do you think Pokemon will have the ability to have young boys throwing it? Okay, let's just skip that. Thanks, Koga. I would give EX series a 10 because it's a mix of the old style with transformation of the cards. Yeah, 100%. I'd give it a 10 as well. I feel like Sword and Shield is potentially going to finish really strong as well too, Bold. But we haven't seen what the last two sets are going to be. Do you think... also, this is my last 5 minutes, guys. We're wrapping it up here. Do you think we'll have a set... we'll have so much product around October, November, we can expect booster box to be under $95 again? I mean, we still have booster box under $95, but I definitely am gonna expect there to be flash sales in November come, wow, how am I forgetting what it's called? Black Friday. Should make alt arts for all original 150. Oh, that'd be sick, John. Soon we'll go into 5D cards. You know, waiting for hologram cards. I am too. I like lenticular. Lenticular's cool. Do you think the Sword and Shield era would have been better spreading out all the parts from Evolving Skies into other sets then? No. I think that what if anything should have been better is they should have taken sets like Champions Pack, Darkness Ablaze, and Rebel Clashes and not spread them out. Because if you look at like what they did with Champions Path and Darkness Ablaze, the difference between the two is Darkness Ablaze is literally just a Charizard VMAX regular. Champion's Path is a Rainbow VMAX and a Shiny Charizard. And then Shining Fate is just a Rainbow, or sorry, a Shiny VMAX Charizard. I think if anything, you should have not made you shouldn't have made two sets into 4. You could have easily put a VMAX Charizard and a Rainbow Charizard in one set and then added more to it, and gotten rid of Champion's Path and Darkness Ablaze completely. Easily could have gotten rid of both those sets, but instead they had to make a Champion's Path and Darkness Ablaze. Such a waste, you know? Make two sets into 3. Does the Evolving Skies ETB reprint count the Pokemon Center ETBs? Nope. Not to my knowledge. Where do they go from alt arts besides hologram cards? Crystal cards? Probably some form of crystal cards. 3D folded cards. That's funny. People would want to see shiny alt arts, but I guess that's why I'm so high on Vaporeon VMAX promo props, looking like a shiny alt art. Thanks for having your lives. It's always nice to get your opinion. Hey, I appreciate that, Jones. Jones Drew. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I gotta wonder. Alt arts with shinies. I feel like that potentially there could be just too much going on. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think there could definitely be too much going on with that. But who knows? But as far as it goes, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed to the YouTube channel. So can't thank you guys enough for the love and support, as I would not be here or be able to do what I do without you guys. So